Today's an episode that I've wanted to do for a while because it's structural, it's fun, it's quite entertaining. In the last episode, we talked about how the back of my home is settling. We have a big issue where the foundation has slowly sunk into the ground and I'm down, I want to say about 4 inches, but today we're going to lock in a number and know exactly how far we've settled. At some point in time, somebody renovated the back of this home. From here to here was originally blocked off and this was just a wall. This was the back of the home. They wanted to add in some square footage, so they went ahead and framed 5 inches out of level. This measures out to about 8 foot by 14. I want to fix that because that is the last spot in the whole entire house that needs any sort of structural addressing when it comes to the underside of it. Everything else in this house is pretty spot on for being 100 years old. But here's what we've got planned for today. We need to clean out this back section over here, get all the insulation out. We're going to put it in the second bedroom. We can get a level in here along with a laser and shoot all the way across the back wall. What we're going to do today is structurally lift up the back side of the home using huge hydraulic air jacks. At any moment this thing could fall. So the goal for today is to not let it fall. We get this thing back up to level and that allows me to sheet out the rest of the floor in here and continue building. It's hands down one of my biggest milestones in this renovation because this old section over here just hasn't been touched. Being honest with you guys, if there was one part of this house that I didn't want to do by myself, it was this. This post right here is halfway on the pier, halfway off, sitting on a pressure treated block. Ideally, I get this thing up and I'm able to put in a 4x6 underneath it. Since we need to go up about 4 inches, that's gonna be my goal, is to add a 4x to each one of these. If I can add a chunk of 4x6 and support it, that'll get me up 3.5 inches. If we decide to go more today, what we can do is add in a piece of plywood, 2 pieces of plywood, and we'll slowly build these all the way up. So that's 4 inches on the dot. That is where the finished floor should be. So here we are 8 1/4. We need to come up 4 1/4 right here. Out here, we're 8 1/2. We need to come up 4 1/2 inches right here. And then off on this side, I'm 7 1/2. So we need to come up 3 1/2 inches over here. The easiest way to think of what we're doing right now is from the existing linoleum up to the laser level, that's what we should have all the way through this room. So we should have 4 inches looking at this room all the way through, but we don't. We have 7 1/2, we have 8 1/4, and we have 8 1/2. So we need to come up 3 1/2 inches all the way to nearly 4 1/2 over here. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, there's a solid chance that we start this today and it doesn't get done. I have that beam under there and I have faith in what I can do, but this might be a little too much for one person. this is floating. So all the weight from this side of the building is being supported here and on that jack over there. And we're gonna knock this thing out. So we've got this free over here now, this one free here. So right now we are about a 1/2 inch up. We need 4 more inches. What I can do is if I can get this up 1.5 inches and manage to put another block in here and in here, I can then take the jack back down, put a block underneath it on here, and that way I'm not using so much of the shaft here. Ideally, this is about maxed out, but I need a little bit more. So we're up 1 inch, which is what the 2 pieces of 1/2 inch here are doing. That's a good bit of movement already. What I need to do now is go on this side and lift up this section a little bit more, try to get that closer to that inch mark as well. Then we'll come back over here, lift up off of this, and get to a 2x6. I'm gonna put a little bit of pressure on this one. Now I left as much of this stuff in place as possible, even though these aren't doing anything. In the case this house does come crashing down, it'll hold it. That was my plan at least. All right, let's give her a go. You really have to work this simultaneously. Take care of this side, take care of this side, go up, 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 up. We're almost there. Now she's creaking and popping. After this, we're gonna go check on the inside. Oh. Watch your fingers, don't ever do this. That's it, that's 1.5 inches. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Little by little, piece by piece. I don't want my fingers under there. That's it. That's actually closer to 2 inches here. So from the existing flooring to the laser mark, we should be 4 inches. So anything bigger than 4 inches is what we need to come up still. I'm trying to be light as a feather. We're 6.5 right now. So we're still 2.5 inches low. Here in the middle, we're showing 6.25, which is 2.25 low. And then here on this far side, trying to be super careful walking on it. I'm 6.25 as well. So we're 2.25 low here. When you think about the fact that we started at 4.5 inches and we're now at 2.25 almost all the way through, that's pretty good. We're up 2 inches right now. That goes to show you that it doesn't take a whole lot to lift these houses up. Those are some pretty big jacks, and I'll have them linked in the description down below. The finish line is looking a lot closer. I can finally sheet this floor out, get it back up to close to level, ideally perfect. Get rid of these utilities, sheet this out, frame in my walls. I'll get to see my pantry. I'm gonna see if I can get this to go up a little bit more and shove a piece of plywood under here. That side's now at 2 inches. That's at 2 inches. That's at 1.5 inches down there. The shaft on this one's barely exposed. I could probably get another 1/2 inch out of this side. This pier is in here crooked, and I don't really like that. That's that. I don't like the way that jack looks. It's starting to slowly go over. Creates a knuckle, like your elbow. And eventually, if you lock your arm and you put enough pressure on it, eventually it pops. And that's what'll happen over there. So what we need to do is get this side taken care of, add our pieces in here, get it to where I want, drop it all back down, and re-level both of these. The longer this shaft gets on the hydraulic jack, the more chance you have of that knuckle breaking. It turns into catastrophe. We don't want that around here. I'm gonna grab some more plywood. I feel like I sort of need to disclose this as well. If you're watching these videos and you're maybe a DIYer and you're working on your own house, do not assume that you can just go out to your house like this and just start lifting things up without repercussions. For the last 10, 15 years, structural framing is the only thing that I've done. Understanding load paths, understanding how the weight from above is carried downward. I understand where I'm going off of in order to lift this house up and how to do it safely. Always consult with a structural engineer. Always get somebody on site that can actually look at it, that does this day in, day out. That's how you're gonna stay the safest. That's how your house is gonna stay in one piece. While these might be fun DIY videos, you guys get to watch me renovate my own house. This is something I've done for decades. We are up 2.5 inches here, 2 inches out there, 2.5 here, 2.5 there. They have a split in the beam right here, so every time I lift this section up, that side sort of sags a little bit, so I have to overextend here to get that side up. Now we are completely off of it. That's how these things should go. It should not be a big dramatic move. Look at how the base of the jack is sort of settling into the dirt here. As I'm pushing up on the house, it's compressing down into the soil. And when it does so, it finds the weakest link, whether that be the house going up or the ground being solid. And in this case, pushing this back corner down. And what will eventually happen is this will get to a point where this creates that elbow that we've been talking about, and this will shoot out this way. See how that just happened? The whole jack, as soon as it got to a point where it was free, shifted this way, because this right here is starting to push down into the soil. We'll have to build this section back up to where we're jacking up completely plumb. This door has been out of plumb so long that it won't shut now. That's how you know we're seriously moving it. That's funny. What's funny is it actually looks plumb now. We'll get that figured out. So let's go ahead and check to see where we're at right now. This will tell us what we need to move up. We're supposed to be 4 inches from the linoleum up. This back corner, we're at 4 3/4. We are 3/4 of an inch away from being level back here. That's awesome. We've moved this quite a bit. I'm really happy with that. If you guys remember when we started, the line was up and above the heater right here, about here. And then it was on top of the heater here. And now we're way down here. The middle, 5 1/2. So we're 1.5 inches low here still. And then this far side, I'm showing 6 1/4. So it's 3/4 of an inch, 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, and 2 1/4. So adding stuff down here gives me a taller base. I'm allowed to put this sucker back up on this section. House is popping. A little bit more. That's how it's done, you guys. That's 3 inches up. Oh, this thing's moving so much. Where's my hammer at? Come on. Right here. That's give it a quick check real quick. We're at 3 3/4, so we're up 1/4 here, out of level. Middle showing 4 3/4. So this needs to go down 1/4. This pier that we just put in needs to go up 1/2 inch, and then we'll work those two over there. Now that we know that, let's go fix it. So we need to add a 1/2 inch piece of ply here. That one needs to go down 1/4, which it will. So we got that 1/2 inch under there. This side needed to go down a little bit. This is gonna correct, this will correct. That's how it's done. It's looking really good. I'm super happy with this. I love this stuff. Plumbing, not so much. Thank you to everybody that commented on that plumbing video. There's a lot of things that I simply don't know about plumbing. Like I didn't know that the more 90s you put in, the more you're gonna have a leak. Should have crossed my mind at some point though. So the same thing we did over there, where we put another 2x8 under. That way we can get the shaft of this a little bit smaller. The better off we're gonna be. So that's what we're gonna do. If any of you guys have a failing foundation at home, hopefully this gives you faith that you can fix it in an afternoon. Hopefully with that faith, you don't act on it. That still seems very low. Man, how much more do I gotta add? The good thing is all this is really solid. So you can see this going up instantly. So my plan is to lift this up and replace them with a 4x6 as opposed to 3 different little 2x. This needs to go up enough for this to go under there too. It's creaking, popping, snapping. It's like that cereal. What was that? Snap, crackle, pop? Rice Krispies? All right, that takes care of that one. I'm gonna put a piece of ply there just because I can always take it out if needed. That one's good where it's at. That one's good, and the one down there is good. So I think I can lower this jack now. Let's go back up into the house and check it and see where we're at right now. All of the weight is off of this jack. I have this up here supported all the way through. We can get a feel for what we need to do. Make our micro adjustments. Right now, the smallest material I'm working with is a 1/2 inch. So we're going up and down 1/2 depending on what we're putting in. We could pretty much make anything possible though. But let's go check it out and see what we got going. So remember our number is 4 that we're looking for. We're 4 1/4 right now. So we do need to put that 1/2 inch piece of ply under that one. We're 4 1/4 right here as well. So both of these are 1/4 low. That is much better than 4 1/2 inches. And this was the troubled spot right out here. We're 4 1/4 here. And we're 4 3/8 here. You guys, we did it. My stress level is like way down. All by my lonesome.
What?
I said you didn't even call to check on me. What if I was stuck under the house?
You told me your phone was dead. I didn't know you had a charger.
Oh, well, I'm okay. So this one's now on a 4x6 with a 2x on top of it. I need to go up another 1/2 inch over here, which I'm gonna do in a second. This one's fine and that one's fine. I'm gonna put a piece of plywood under that far side though. But, all right, I'm gonna get my last pieces put in here. I just wanted to show you the process. Isn't it cool?
Yeah, can you keep your phone in your pocket so if you need to call me, you can call me?
Yeah. If I just don't respond until tomorrow, you know something's wrong. All right, talk to you later. Love you.
Love you,
Bye. Man, my wife has no faith in me. Show her the cool things I'm doing, and she just thinks I'm gonna hurt myself. The very last thing I need to do is put a single piece of ply underneath this one. But since there's a kink here, it doesn't like lifting. So when I lift up this, all this comes up and this is kind of dragging along. It's down a 1/2 inch though. I just needed to come up enough for this to go in. That's it. We're done. I'm taking it down. The whole house just dropped. That's incredible. These Pittsburgh 20-ton air hydraulic bottle jacks from Harbor Freight are no joke. Our work here is done. All right, real quick, let's run through it. 4 inches on the dot. 3 7/8. 3 7/8. 4 inches on the dot. I got this floor system within 1/8 of an inch. That's a rewarding feeling. We did good today, you guys. Wasn't the most exciting episode. There wasn't a whole lot that you guys got to see, but you did get to watch me lift this place up and hear all the creaking, the cracking, the popping, and I showed you guys exactly how we did it. Super simple. There wasn't much to it, but we got it done. It worked out great. This floor is now level, and I don't shrink when I walk in here.
I lifted the back of this place 4.5 inches today, and it went a little too well. A 1/2 inch at a time, every crack and pop of this house made me a little tense. I expected it to fight back quite a bit more, but I have to say I'm stoked on the outcome. Now we've got a level floor that's close to perfect to build up on top of. I can finish out the sheathing, build the pantry, and keep on trucking on this remodel. I've always loved the rewarding aspect of this industry, being able to look back after a long day and see the work you put in. It's nice to see progress. But with that said, keep learning, keep building, and I'll see you in the next one.